Hi guys, how are you? This is Loise. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're well and safe wherever you are and that it is beautiful as it is here in Calgary. Okay guys, today I want us to talk about coming to Canada as an international student and then starting your own business in this country. Believe me, it is possible, and the government now has made it possible, and we have a pathway for that, and that's what we're going to be discussing today. I am a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. My name is Loise, and I'm based here in Calgary, Alberta. So guys, if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe, like and share this video. Okay? As you know, there are many ways by which you can immigrate to Canada upon graduation. And we also know that international students make up the biggest and the best pathway, one of the best pathways after express entry for you to settle in Canada as a permanent resident. Okay? And a lot of people are looking to come to Canada as international students. Is that you? I've been talking a lot about international students, but this one has been kind of forgotten, and people don't know that you can actually don't just have to graduate and get employed, but you can actually graduate and start your own business. I just want to do a recap of the various ways that you can immigrate, or rather transition your study permit into permanent residence. And one of them is you graduate and then apply under the Canadian Experience class, which goes through the express entry. That is the main one. Okay, of course you have to meet the requirements of the express entry. If you don't meet the other ways there are, you can also graduate and also apply for a provincial nomination program in the province where you're studying. I know some people think that they can go to another province and apply for a nomination. I do discourage against this. Why? Because if you're coming to study in Alberta and you realize that there are no jobs, now you have to move to Nova Scotia. One of the things the Nova Scotia government is going to be asking itself is, if you already lived in Alberta and you move to Nova Scotia for a job, what's going to make you want to stay in Nova Scotia, considering that you already have your roots in Alberta? What's going to stop you from, moving back to Alberta as soon as you gain your permanent residency? Okay, so this is one of those things that I tell people before you come here as a student, before you sign up for that course, anyone or even yourself you're thinking about, know clearly how you will immigrate. Okay, because provincial nomination is one of the ways, but you have to be very careful, otherwise it's going to cost you down the road. And you know what, we have proof that people who came to Canada and immigrated to some provinces through a provincial nomination, and later on they moved to other provinces, their permanent residencies are being recalled and they are being stripped of their permanent residencies. Please, this is just out of my experience. Don't find yourself in that situation. So come to a province, especially if you're looking for provincial nomination, please make sure that that's where you want to stay until you can become a citizen. Do not move around before you can become a citizen. Okay guys, anyway, let's go back to students. How else can you become a permanent resident as a student? Of course, you can get married. You can meet Mr. or Miss Right in college or wherever, and you can get married to a Canadian citizen or a permanent resident, and you immigrate through a spousal sponsorship. The other one is you can also get an LMIA approved job offer or an LMIA exempt job offer, and you can get a work permit, after which you can transition to a permanent residence. Okay? Number 5 is that you can graduate and immigrate through any of the pilot programs. So we're talking of the Rural Northern Immigration Pilot or the Atlantic Immigration Pilot, or whichever pilot is running at that time when you graduate. Okay? So those are the main ways that you can immigrate here to Canada. Of course, now we're going to explore the 6th one. Okay? Again, I just want to tell you, before you sign up for a course in Canada as an international student, make sure you fully understand the Canadian immigration. Make sure you know how that works for you and how that translates for you, because this kind of information is always very general information. Everything is on merit and depends on someone's individual profile. So understand the pathway through which you will transition once you graduate. Of course, these things they depend on factors like age, education, work experience, and stuff like that. So don't just come to Canada blindly thinking that, you know what, I'm just gonna take the cheapest course or the course that Loise or someone else, any other agent is selling to you. Please understand how what it means upon your graduation, which pathway is going to guarantee or almost guarantee success, because there are people who come here as students and believe you me, they are not able to immigrate. So be very strategic. It's not just about coming here as an international student. Anyway, anyway, guys, enough of that. The other thing that we've also been talking about lately is how to graduate and get a job. Okay, because you find that most of these economic classes, you graduate, you get employed, you get work experience, and boom, you apply under the classes that I talked about there above. And therefore, I've also been telling people, you know, like courses to avoid if you want to get employed, or courses in high demand and stuff like that. You better watch those videos if immigrating to get a job and employment is for you. However, there are people out there, and maybe you or your brother, sister, friend, and someone you know falls in this category, whereby they have a course that is truly a passion for them. Okay? And this course does not have lots of job opportunities in Canada. And this person also has maybe an entrepreneur spirit. So they don't mind graduating and starting a business of their own, simply because either there are no jobs, or they also feel that some of these courses you graduate, but then the wage is so little. Okay? And some of these, I'll give you one example. And I know I have a few people, if you're listening to me and you fall in this category and you're my client, this is maybe something that we've discussed. That, you know what, let's say a chef, okay? If you want to come study, you know, culinary arts or stuff like that, of course you'll become a chef. Okay, but you look at that and you ask yourself, what are the job opportunities of a chef in Canada upon graduation? There could be lots of opportunities. Of course, you're going to be hired as a cook or a chef, but then the pay is not that good. It doesn't feel like a good investment. Maybe you're coming here for 4 years. It doesn't feel like a good investment. So at times I do tell people, when you're taking up some of these courses, maybe look at what you want to do upon graduation. And some people tell me, I want to go back to my country and start this kind of a big business. Good for you. But if you're using that kind of a course because it's your passion, but then the pay is ridiculously low, maybe you can look at how you can start your own restaurant, okay, in Canada, which is going to give you better returns. And these are the people that I want to talk to today. Okay, guys? All right. So if you feel that any course, it doesn't matter which course, but if you feel that the course you're doing, you can even start, you know, consultancy business, you can buy some kind of a business or start some kind of a business, or you're very creative, you can do a startup. All these are the people that I want to address. So it doesn't matter what course, whether it's marketable or not, as long as you know that you can do your own business through that course. Okay, are we together, guys? All right. So in the recent from the last 2 years, Canada has been introducing this program, and so far it's in 4 provinces. Okay, this program is called the International Graduates Entrepreneur category. Okay, so this is to cater for those people who want to come here, graduate, start their own businesses. And as usual, my friend here has joined us. Hi, Brady. You want to say hi? And please leave. Bye and thank you. Please go. Bye-bye. Okay, sorry guys. I was talking about the International Graduate Entrepreneur category. So far, this program is only running in 4 provinces in Canada. That is Alberta, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Nova Scotia. Okay, so if you're thinking of being an entrepreneur upon graduation, please make sure you are only looking for institutions in these 4 provinces. And we shall go through the requirements of these 4 provinces just so that you know what is required, because they are all different and they have different requirements. Okay? Yes. So do not go to a province outside of these 4. We know that Canada has 10 provinces and 3 territories. Please, if this is your intention, I talked of strategy, this is strategy. You only need to look at institutions in these 4 provinces, my friend. Okay, so let us start with Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan, the Saskatchewan International Graduate Entrepreneur category is run through the Saskatchewan Nominee Program, the SINP. And actually all these 4 provinces, they run this program. It's part of their provincial nominee streams. We've said that Canada has over 50 programs, and majority of those programs actually go under the provincial nominee programs for these provinces. So, it's a nomination stream. Okay, so the Saskatchewan one says the requirement is that you must graduate from an eligible institute in Saskatchewan. So not every school in Saskatchewan is going to qualify for this program. Not for the degree, it's the degree that you get from this institution that is going to help you qualify. So not every institution. Okay. The other one is that, of course, as I said, you must have the full intention to live and remain in Saskatchewan and run your business there, at least until a time when you can become a citizen, not before that. Okay. The other one is that you must actively operate and manage your business, and you must also own at least a third of the business. So if you must own a third, what does that mean? It means you don't necessarily have to start this business on your own or just buy it and be the only manager. You can actually come together either with your friends or existing Canadians, and you only need to own a third, but you need to be actively involved in the operation and management of this business. The other requirements, of course, are you don't need an express entry. So for people who are above the ages of express entry, so this is a really good program. You don't need to be in the express entry. You don't need a connection in Saskatchewan, which is needed in majority of their provincial nominee programs. You don't need a job offer, because come on, you're creating the job yourself, and you're going to need language ability, at least a CLB7 in either English or French. Of course, that is, if you're going to do English, make sure you do English general, and it needs a CLB7. Then you're going to need at least a degree or a diploma from an institution that is eligible for this program in Saskatchewan. Okay? For work experience, you must have worked and run this business for at least a year. And yeah, of course, I said you must own a third of that business, and you must also be on your postgraduate work permit, which is for at least 2 years, which means if you're going to get a postgraduate work permit for 2 years, then the program that you took must have been for 2 years and above. Okay? Right, then what you're going to do is that you must submit an expression of interest. That is how it runs in Saskatchewan. And you're going to find that the requirements are almost similar in all the 4 provinces. So let us see what this means or requires for you in Alberta. Of course, you must be studying in Alberta, or you must come to study in Alberta. So this program runs under the Alberta Immigrant Nominee Program. As I said, these programs are running through the nominee programs of the province. Okay, the eligibility is that you must have studied a degree or a diploma that was at least 2 years full-time in Alberta in a public institute, and you must be on postgraduate work permit. Okay, then you must meet English or French requirements, and the requirements for English there is a CLB7. Okay, then of course in Alberta you must own at least 34% of the business. Remember, Saskatchewan was 33%, which is the same, it's a third, so this is 34%. And the work experience required in Alberta, you must have run 6 months full-time work experience managing or running this business. Okay, in Alberta, they're not saying that you must be a certain age so older people can apply, but because it's a point system, you find that people who are aged between 21 and 49 years are getting the highest chances of success through this program. Okay, so see, if you're older, if you're an older student, I keep telling people, you know, you don't have to be 20 to come to study in Canada. I do actually have people who come here at 44, 46, even 50 to study. So it means that you can come here as a student and study and start your business. Age should not be a deterrent as long as you're able to start your own business. Okay, guys? Yes, so let's go to Nova Scotia. Okay? Of course, as we said, you must want to live and own that business in the province of Nova Scotia, and you must have at least 1 year continuous work experience managing that business, whose equity you own 33%. That is a third of the company. And you must have studied a degree or a diploma course in Nova Scotia for about 2 years, which then means that you possess a postgraduate work permit for over 2 years in Nova Scotia. You must also meet the language eligibility, which is a CLB 7, and you must also do an expression of interest. Okay, the other one, the last province, is Manitoba that I want to talk about. So Manitoba is a little it's a little different than the other 3 provinces that we talked about, because you find that in the first 3 provinces age wasn't such a big issue, but age is a big issue in Manitoba. So of course this one is also running under the Manitoba International Student Entrepreneur Pilot. Theirs is a pilot program. Okay, so you must have graduated from the province, and this means that you must have lived in that province, and you must intend to live in that province. This province, however, says for you to apply under this program, you must attend an info session before submitting your application. So please, not just everybody is going to be able to apply to this program. You must attend their info session. Then I want you to note that in Manitoba, they have said that they're only going to be providing, or rather approving 20 nominations per calendar year. Okay, 20 nominations. So it's not, they don't have a big allocation. So be careful, so that, you know, 20 allocations per year are quite little. So I don't know, it's still a good destination. It doesn't look like it's the best among the 4. Okay, so with 20 nominations in a year, then you must have work experience of running and operating your business for about 6 months. And the business ownership here changes as well. You must own at least 51% of the business equity, which means then you're going to be the major shareholder. And of course, you have the greater rights in running the business, 51%. All the others were a third. Of course, you must meet English or French requirements of CLB 7, and the course that you did in Manitoba must have given you a degree or a diploma, and it must have been 2 years, just like everything else, minimum 2 years, and you must be on a postgraduate work permit. Okay, this one has an age limitation. You can only be between the age of 21 and 35. So if you're looking to come to Manitoba, for you to participate in this program, you must be only between 21 and 35. Anybody after that, at the time of the application, not when you're coming to school, you're not going to qualify for this program. Okay, last but not least, for Manitoba, they say that you must meet the LICO requirements for 1 year, and LICO is the minimum income for that province. Okay, which means you've done your taxes for 1 year and you meet the LICO requirements. Okay, guys, so that's a really good opportunity. I've come to the end of this. It's a really good opportunity because some people were feeling like I'm discouraging them, like I'm telling them, you know what, only do these courses. But there's still that minority of people whose passion is valid. They don't want to be employed. If you don't want to be employed, you still want to come to Canada, you want to pursue your passion, you want to take a course that of course not a lot of people are going to be employing, or rather there are not so many big job opportunities, or rather the salary also could be less, then this is the kind of a program that you want to be targeting. I know there's a lot of people out there who want to come do things like baking, specialty baking, culinary stuff, things that you can open your own business. There's so many of them. Maybe I'm gonna do a video that gives you an idea of the courses that you want to do for you to participate in this kind of a program. Okay, guys? All right, so get working. If you need school placement, if you need to come to Canada as an international student, you don't know which province to go, you don't know job opportunities, you don't know which pathway is going to be best for you by the time you graduate because of your age, of course, and all the other factors, please reach out to me. My email address is going to be at the description part of this video. The best is just head on to my website. It's also going to be at the description part of this video, and please book a study consultation so that I sit with you one-on-one and give you advice, serious advice that only applies to you and your spouse if that is applicable. And believe you me, it's worth the time and money. Okay, guys? So subscribe, like, and share, and I will see you in my next video.